Hey, thank you guys so much for coming in. If I could start by asking everyone to either turn off their cell phones or turn them on vibrate. We don't want to have to kick anybody out today, so thank you so much. Thank you for coming to the Certificate Student Artist Talk at the Southwest School of Art. My name is Michelle Garrigan, and we are delighted to have you join us in celebrating these accomplished artists. They all received their certificates at the opening of the exhibition on July 18th, so let's give them all a round of applause. At the Southwest School of Art, we have been educating artists and designers for 48 years. We offer classes to absolutely everyone, ages 5 and up, and we hold our classes in state-of-the-art studios. We have an amazing place here with truly phenomenal faculty and students. I've only been here for about a year, but I can tell you with confidence that what we have here is a family, and these certificate students exemplify that as well. For example, Barbara and Mark supported each other and encouraged each other to finish the certificate program. And I'm sure that many in this room helped to support the artists in achieving their certificate as well, so we thank you also. So today is a little bit of a spin on the traditional artist talk. We are running the talk Pecha Kucha style. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Pecha Kucha, it is Japanese slang for someone who talks a lot. Pecha Kucha Night was devised in Tokyo in 2003 as an event for young designers to meet, network, and show their work in public. And as you guys probably know, if you get an architect or an artist or designer talking about their work, they can go on for some time. So they devised this format to deal with that. There are 20 slides, each on the screen for only 20 seconds. So you're getting a lot of ideas in a very short time frame. Because we have 5 artists presenting today, please hold your questions until the end. At that point, we're going to have a small, 5-minute or so Q&A with the artists. And now we're on to the show. And we're starting off with Sally Astleford. Sally comes to her certificate studies at the Southwest School of Art with a background as a science and art teacher. And she was with the Alamo Heights Independent School District for 16 years. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Education from the University of Arizona, and throughout her career, even more intensely since retiring, she has participated in numerous group exhibitions. Her art skills include ceramics and painting, but it's in the printmaking studios that Sally really developed her passion. In the artwork in the gallery, you may see a reference to her love of the sea and a glimpse of her past as a surfer. Sally?
The journey, my all-over theme. My work is pulled from life experiences. This is journal number 33, 17 by 13 inches watercolor monotype. My style is abstract. I use landscape as a vehicle to enter the work. Light breaks through, suggesting a salty spray in patterns of Pidaro, 12 by 12 inch. Inspiration comes to me from the water, the wave patterns, light, tide pools, and textures of the beach. The sea with the incoming tide is symbolic of change and completion. This image is of the tide pool in Monterey, California, just a few months ago. And the light was wonderful. It was in the early morning. Very nice. I body surf, and I'm in the powerful waves of the Pacific, deep under the surface, holding on to the sand with all of my effort, coming back up to the top and being smashed again by another wave. Well, I transferred this physical and spiritual experience to creating my art. This is Dive Deep, 16 by 12. Laguna is here, 12 by 12. My monotypes are about energy. The most simple lines or marks can lead into a complex work. Patterns are simple, lyrical, and I hope enchanting. The sky invites you to hear the thunder, and I try to capture the essence of the approaching storm. I often make my own artist tools. I love found objects. They're my favorite. I like to use the cleaners, the plastic wrap from the cleaners, bubble wrap, Starbucks wrappers, bones, feathers, and whatnot, and even cabbage leaves. This is an empowering piece. We're on to the next one, Sacred Lands, a colograph. The colors, textures, and marks are of the beautiful West. I used an oil-based ink and rubbed it to build up the surface. My idea is not to give you all the information. You must dig for it. And now we will step back in time to the jumping off place for me 32 years ago when I had a little business called Ojai Arts. And it was high-fire stoneware sculpture that I made. I began drawing a lot and making marks in the clay and on paper. And suddenly when I found this one, it was like the great beginning. It was wonderful. Check out the drawings on the bottom of the next one. There are journal notes on the dig to Oregon. And I often keep a notebook and travel back and forth to California and the West and try to sit by the window on the airplane and make my drawings too. This is a one called journaling, as I said, 14 by 12. Next will be Legends, Lore, and Legacy. And I use Shinkalei in this, marbling, and it is ink and watercolor pronto plate lithography. This is above Terry's desk out at the front of our Navarro campus, if you'd like to see it. I'll bet you're wondering, what's the process of making a monoprint? Well, mono means one, and first we're going to need the idea. We'll take a special moment with the sea anemone here in the tide pool in Monterey, and we'll get our idea and maybe tuck away some inspirational lines and textures. We will need a sheet of plastic called a plate or matrix. We'll rub on some gum arabic. We'll paint or draw on the surface, and very important to let it dry completely. We'll place the paper in a water bath, pat it dry with a towel, so when dried watercolor on plastic meets damp paper, and we cover it with a blanket and place it on the press bed. Run it through, remove the blankets, pull the paper, there it is. Each pulled print is the grand surprise. And if you run it through again, you might get a ghost print. And yes, you can print on top of other prints. Some artists I like are Helen Frankenthaler, Ida Kohlmeyer, Diebenkorn, Alexander Calder, Paul Clay, and Pat Steer. This one is Red Sky at Morning. That was Red Sky at Morning. Sailor's Warning. Red Sky at Night, Sailor's Delight. This is La Jolla, the Jewel, 12 by 12. I will share with you two quotes from Helen Frankenthaler. And they will come with Cosmos, 32 by 32 inches. Quote, I wanted things I couldn't at times articulate. And then one of my favorites, the landscape was in my arms as I worked. We're now back in Monterey again, about 8:30 at night. This reminds me to simplify my idea as I build a solid design. You ask, well, what captivates me about this photo? Well, it's the light that was dancing on the waves so late in the evening. My wish for you is to find your passion. And when you found that passion, to follow your dreams. Have no fear and never give up. Work every day on your creative process. I may try to make a mark or touch the canvas or write in my journal, but not organizing the studio or doing the wash, but nurturing that creative part, and that's hard to do. Narrow down what's important to you and do it. In conclusion, the journey is the destination. Dan Eldon, the correspondent and artist, said that. That's the theme. This body of work exhibits a spirit of movement and change, always going forward, always exploring, always open to the new. Aloha.